the left hand.
Yeah, that's cool in transition, man. We move. I don't have to
And,
have no shots.
Ooh, what a good
we
close.
are live. This is SCENcast. This is the virtual sports bar. As you can see, the sports bar is sold out tonight. We got everybody here. Trav's in the building. MJ's in the building. Do not adjust your sets. It's hot AF, as the youngsters say in Memphis. So my man Ham got the lights down. He chilling. And back like he left something, but he left us for some weeks. It's our main man Germ in the building. Germ, we're gonna start with you. What's going on, man?
Hey man, check on your people who work in fast food. We are not okay.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. If you are in management and fast food, you are not all right. It is just so much going on. Not even just with the pandemic, but just people in general working. But we here, we back, Jewel Santana style, hey, we here. Let's do this.
Let me set the tone too. For those of y'all, because I'm a chess player and I could see already. For those of y'all who want to come at my man's because he said he works at fast food, first and foremost, look up the salaries of what fast food managers make. It's actually very lucrative. It's more lucrative than some of them sexy jobs that y'all so-called claim to have. Secondly, I'm going to need for y'all to put y'all pride away and go get the bag. That's the problem with y'all now. Y'all too busy trying to chase the bag and y'all skipping steps because this is a microwave generation. No, go to your grind, put your head down, whatever you got to do it, and then everything else will fall into place. So I had to address that because I just know how humans are, especially on this blue app. On Ronnie C's internet, they petty as fuck. Got to address it immediately. So shouts out to my man Germ for saying, yo, I got to get it how I get it. And he's getting it how he get it. And he's going to own a restaurant very soon that y'all probably going to want to go to anyway. So, yeah.
So let's not further delay. Speaking of petty, one of the most petty playoff performances that wasn't intentional I have witnessed in the last, since 94 feet is open. I'm going to just keep my references since 94 feet is open. I don't know if they had 7 dozen of Ham 7G. I don't know if it was a long night with barbecue nachos on Beale Street. I don't know if they went to Wet Willie's. The Golden State Warriors put in one of the most atrocious performances I've seen, playoff or non-playoff, in a long time. Credit to the Grizzlies for showing up. The Grizzlies played very well. I don't want to take anything from the Grizzlies.
No.
But Lord have mercy, Golden State was awful in game 5. Ham, Grizz fan, we know Grizz. If you're not friends with Jay Story and Ham, you should be. What the hell was that?
You asking me like I really even knew, man. Here's the funny part about it for me. They was up 27 at the half. I'm like, yo, I can't go to sleep yet. I can't go to sleep yet because 27 can be walked. Now, when 27 stretched to 35 went to 38 and 40 and 42, and Mike Brown looked at 30 and 23, man, I'll bring y'all ugly ass over here, man. Come on here and chill. You know what I'm saying? We'll hang out. We'll call Billy Richmond. We'll get some Wing Guru on the way back to Cali. You know what I'm saying? Like that, whatever the case. We ain't catch Ham in time to catch, the 7G, but I get them some 10G over there if we get a game 7. That's a good reason to come back. You know what I'm saying? If they just pay attention. But now on the strip though, like you said, I can't take nothing away from our guys. Our guys just came out hoop. You know what I'm saying? They ain't shot the ball that well in like a couple of months. Yeah, I know the narrative. I've been seeing the narrative. It's got a lot of holes in it. We can touch on it while we're here.
Let's touch on it. Let's touch on that narrative real quick. And then, Trav, I want to get you back jumping in because you and I watched you and them that watched half of that game. I want to get to the narrative quickly. The narrative of Ham. I think the story is they reinserted Aquaman back into the lineup.
That's part of it.
I think since they reinserted Steven Adams back into the lineup, the perimeter defenses look better. The interior defenses look better.
Right.
It's just a more active defense. Ham, let's go to that, and then the narrative, and then Trav.
On that tip, when you have him in there, it actually keeps Tripp, being Jaren Jackson Jr., for those that are not, for the Memphis impaired, it keeps Tripp from being in silly foul trouble because he's pretty much, he has an anchor that's on the floor that's like, okay, he don't have to cover these spots where he think he would normally have to cover when he got Brandon Clark on the floor. No disrespect to Brandon Clark, just a different player. You're talking about a young cat versus dude that's been around, vet, the whole deal. And that's just his role. In that regard, it kind of holds everything out front in the Bay. Now, the narrative of, well, they better without Ja. They better without Ja. Here's the thing. They're a good team. They're a very good basketball team without Ja. They're a really good basketball team with Ja. Ja is the one that can take it to that next level and game break it when he needs to. He can put it on his back. You got that kind of cat that can strap it on. We've seen that twice in these playoffs. Game winners this series, last series as well. The fun part about it is why they are a really good basketball team without him is because of 22. It was 21, rather, Tyus Jones. Dude's a winner. He's got the winning pedigree. He's mature beyond his years. This is his 7th season in the league, and he's 25 years old himself. You know what I'm saying? So he's a part of that youth movement, but he's always carried himself as a veteran.
He's a vet.
The continuity that these dudes have with Ja, with Tyus, with Jaren, with Dylan, with Kyle, and with Brandon as well. They've all been together for those 3 years together, and they've grown together. So the continuity plays a part as to why also they are a really good team with or without Ja.
Now, I want to shout out to Tyus Jones as well as Desmond Bain, the after school special backcourt. Y'all who grew up on back in the 80s and the 90s know there was always two dudes who was, let's be real, kind of light skinned, who were always the only 2 black dudes in high school at the after school special. That's Tyus Jones, Desmond Bain.
You showing your age, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they got the Gracie and AC Slater in the backcourt.
Yeah, man. They absolutely do. Trav, let me get to you now. We're gonna kind of flip converses because I want to set MJ up for the Phoenix Dallas because he led this movement because he led the movement 3 years ago. Let me get Trav his buckets real quick. Boston and Milwaukee on the opposite end was a hell of a game Wednesday night. Talk to me about Milwaukee, Boston. 3-2 now. Milwaukee with a chance to close the show.
Marcus Smart played 47 minutes and 45 seconds. 47 minutes and 45 seconds of great basketball. 15 seconds, he screwed that game up.
Yeah.
I don't like putting individuals in their place in a team sport, but he did that. And he tried to play it off. But when real ball players would look themselves in the mirror and be like, player mess up, but they look themselves in the mirror and be like, they got to get it again. Because that game woke up Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that game woke up Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday had not had a good series, but that second half of game 5.
Fourth quarter was his quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, because you gotta put this into perspective too, real quick. I'm sorry. But
you right.
Giannis also was getting meaningless fouls in the fourth quarter. He had about 3 charges in a 3 consecutive possessions. It seemed like he had a lot of things. And Drew, he hit that 3-pointer. He hit that nice wing jumper, and then he hit the 3-pointer, obviously, to tie the game. Those were 3 huge shots during the stretch where Boston had, every time they had gotten close, had hit 2 threes or 2 shots to extend the lead back to 8 or back to 10. So when that happened, they locked down on defense. Giannis had a couple huge blocks as well. I mean, you got to give them folks credit, man. Give them folks credit where they did. They went and took something. Boston, you got to walk.
They sure did. If you want to, y'all want to see a good series, this is maybe the best one.
Yeah,
it's the best one to watch.
They are, there's this narrative sometimes that we talk about. MJ tried to hit on this one in our little group chat last night. They're always saying, they don't care as much. They don't try. Boston and Milwaukee playing so hard, man.
You know what's cool about this one?
Yeah,
this might be especially if Boston win tomorrow. We'll have a situation where you got both teams that won 3 on the road.
Maybe three road wins each. Yikes!
It would end up
now 3 total.
3 total.
3 total. Yeah, it would be 3 total. Yeah, it would be
even
3
still
total.
the road team going 3-3 is.
Because they each got 1 at home, so yeah.
Right.
So they at least beat each other twice on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get that's even one of those that'll be unique, and you still can have a situation where one of them could win the series and win 3 on the road. And Milwaukee, there was to go 7, and Milwaukee was the win. It would take them to get 3 on the road. That's serious. That's championship level shit we don't normally see, man.
Absolutely. And Giannis, man. Giannis is Dr. J.
Yeah.
Giannis is Dr. J with Hakeem Olajuwon defense.
It's when you watch if our younger viewers go to YouTube like ABA Dr. J or Dr. J when he first went to Philadelphia.
It's just gliding through everything.
Giannis just about 4 inches tall. That's only about 4 inches tall. That's it. It's the glide is the same. The dumb big hands, the stride. He's incredible. And another ho-hum, another 40 and 10 in the book for Giannis the other night. No big deal.
The only difference with Giannis and Doc is that Giannis will at least have some jumpers and floaters in his highlight package. Doc highlight package ain't gonna be nothing but him banging on folks.
Yeah, Doc can't shoot no jump.
They shoot that set shot, but not no jump.
Oh, hey, and this
he hit you with the 7.
And I gotta shout out to Giannis too for that 3-pointer, because that 3-pointer did kind of keep that run going too in the middle of that run.
It did.
No, I mean
off the rebound, top of the key, onto the combo.
Hey,
now before I go to MJ, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Would y'all like to see Jerry Stackhouse, Theo Ratliff, or Dana Barros go up for this Philadelphia 76ers not walking through that door? Who y'all want to say?
Ooh, give me Stackhouse.
As long as you have Clarence Weatherspoon in the mix.
We can do Clarence Weatherspoon.
I was going to say
Miami is up 14 with 5 minutes left in the third. And I don't think this is happening. We know leads can get walked down, but
yeah, this ain't happening.
I will say Charles Shackelford.
First of all, did y'all know Miami had 8 undrafted dudes on the team?
That's what I'm trying to say.
It may not be. I didn't know about 8. I know about 5 of them though.
It's 8.
Look, please let me talk about this Miami shit. This is why I keep saying Miami just could go ahead and trade their picks. They don't need them. They go in the summer league and find what they need. They don't even need picks anymore.
They go to Hunger Games, huh?
You know what?
No.
I think on their team, I think Bam and Hero are the only actual draft picks on their team.
Yeah.
I mean, their draft picks, yeah. That's what I'm saying, though.
Like, of their draft picks, they the only ones.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You stop and think about it. That's wild.
It's really not. I don't understand why people do not follow the Pat Riley blueprint. I do, but I don't. I understand because they're afraid they're going to lose their players. But this is the NBA, bro. Like, after this 4-hour practice, even though it could be strenuous and excessive to some people, you got 24 hours out the day. You ain't doing nothing else. Why not take this 4-hour practice, do another hour or two of getting shots up? That's why these dudes who are coming in undrafted are factors, because they're literally putting more hours in than everybody else. This is not hard. This is a very simple blueprint, and no one is duplicating it. It's hilarious to me. That's why I said they don't need picks, because whoever they pick up somebody who's hungry enough to want to practice 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And those dudes obviously was already good, because you can't make it to the NBA if you ain't good. Mm-hmm. But now they're going to be great because they're putting in more hours than everyone else. This is not a hard blueprint.
Now, speaking of more hours than everyone else, this leads me right back to MJ. And we're going to touch on not the last series, we haven't talked about, Dallas Phoenix. MJ, what did you say in 94 Feet of Light about 2019?
So, in 2019, I told people it was Luka Doncic's rookie or sophomore season. When I looked at him, I noticed he wasn't overly athletic. He was extremely skilled. He was big, but he didn't do anything to make his life easier when it came to being able to create space and create a shot for himself or others. Everything was methodical. Everything just took a little bit more time than needed. He reminded me a lot of James Harden. And I thought it was ironic that during that time, James Harden was literally dribbling the air out of the basketball, and everyone was complaining about it, but yet they were glorifying Luka. And I told people, this love that y'all got for Luka right now is going to turn into hate in a couple of years, because y'all gonna get tired of him, because he's playing the exact same way as James is playing. And you want to bring this all full circle? Both of them playing the exact same way Chris Paul used to play. Imagine that shit. Mm-hmm. Dominating the ball, making sure that you make the decision as to whether or not the ball is being shot by you or is being assisted by you, and it is just not winning basketball. It will never be winning basketball. Now, before y'all talk, let me go ahead and go back to this Memphis Golden State game, because there's one thing that I have to say. The reason why Memphis is just as good without Ja is because Tripp decides to be aggressive offensively. Tripp is actually an MVP caliber player. There is no player like Tripp right now in the league. He can score on the perimeter. He's 7 feet. He can dribble drive on the perimeter. He can shoot the three. He can post up. He can offensive rebound. And he actually could possibly be a defensive player of the year candidate as well. Only other person I can think of is Giannis. That's like him.
Anthony Davis.
And Giannis don't shoot like him. The problem is, though, is he gives too much freedom to Ja. If him and Ja is able to just work something out to where Ja say, first 2.5 to 3/4 is yours, big fella, but I got the last fourth, they will win the championship. Tripp is the reason why Golden State got smacked. It wasn't Golden State. It was Tripp. They have no answer for him. Now, going back to Dallas, yeah, everything is ISO. And, they play tough defense, which was keeping them in the game, but they're not going to beat Phoenix at playing that way. It might go 7, they're still not going to beat Phoenix. Okay.
MJ, Jerem knows too. He's been around long enough. I got my band from TV list when it comes to basketball.
You do.
I've never banned anyone from TV in the middle of a playoff series. Dallas. Just watching Luka, I mean, he gets the numbers. I get it. 38, 13, and 12 a lot of nights. I get it. But to just watch him pound the ball 15 seconds every possession for 80 out of possessions every game.
Okay, let me ask you this. Then. What's his time limit for tonight? How long you giving him for tonight?
Well, how much I can watch them tonight?
Right.
He might get a. He might get a half.
Now, here's the thing, though. Like, Dallas is going to make their shots because they're good at playing at home. So it's going to make the offense that we're saying, people who don't watch basketball, they're going to watch this and they're going to see Dallas put up about 110, 120 points. And they're going to think we don't know what we're talking about because the role players are going to make their shots. And also Jaylen Brown, you know what I mean, who also, you know, pretty much is Luka Doncic Jr., he's going to make his shots too. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, when you have to post up Jalen Brunson to generate offense, that tells me everything I need to know about your weaponry and your arsenal.
I need Phoenix to take care of that business tonight. I do. I do.
It's bad. It's tough to watch, man.
It's tough. And like you say, MJ, they score 115, 120. People making shots all over the floor. You look at the box score. The box score looks exciting. But watching it is not exciting at all. For me, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's not. I don't enjoy
it. Sometimes, like I say, man, sometimes it be Ozark time when watching them folks, man.
Yeah. So, go ahead, MJ.
No, but you know, the whole thing is, I mean, it's been the same thing since teams have actually started utilizing the zone as a legitimate weapon. It's been the same.
People that have pulled the zone out of the playoffs.
Yeah, ever since Toronto did it, everybody is just like, we don't care. We don't care about your code or your gentleman's rules. We don't care about that.
Right.
We're trying
about points. We're trying to win.
We don't care about that. So ever since that has occurred, and also you can even look at it in the NBA draft, a lot of wings and combo guards have been getting drafted because you need guys who can be able to create in spaces that only zones allow you to be able to create in. Right. They're not going to just let you bring your pick and roll anymore. No, this is lab work, John. You can do the homework on it. Look at the mock draft right now. Out of the 15 people that's getting picked, there is probably about 2 centers. Everything else is wing players, combo guards. Mm-hmm. Even the point guard that's getting picked in the lottery is a combo guard in Ty Washington, but because he's short, they're just putting him at point guard. Everybody's a combo guard wing because they need somebody to be able to punish the matchup zone or the 2-3 or the 3-2 or whatever people are putting out there.
Hey, that's what I've been telling. That's what I've been telling people here in regards to playing Tyus and Ja together when you got Ja, you know, available. It's like they can not just the fact that they can interchange, but Tyus can take the lane. He can stick the midi. He can stick the deep ball. You know what I'm saying? And you still got the explosive on the other side. They both can play as they're natural point guards, but they can play as combo guards and just interchange and play off the ball from each other. That's had a lot to do with the success that they had here this season, for real. You know, just on a nightly basis. And even when you add in DeAnthony Melton as a third, who can do the same thing that they can do.
I like his game a lot.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Ozark drama, high drama, transitioning right to here. Are we headed for a breakup in Salt Lake? Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, things have sort of really not been right for about 2 years. With Rudy and Donovan, another disappointing, a first round out this year for Utah after a second round out last year. Trav, Jerm, if you're Utah, this is my point. With the rare exception of Stockton and Malone, you ain't never really been able to hold on to star players like that because you saw Lake City. Should you really be in the mind of trying to trade either one? Or is the breakup inevitable because they just can't, they're not vibing?
I really think one on got to go.
Who would go for you?
Donovan. Donovan Mitchell. New York kid. Hate to say it, but it's looking real nickish for him.
Do him a favor. Get him out of there.
He got to go. I just think the best fit for him will probably be New York Knicks.
Jerm.
So this is what's interesting, right? It's not that even that I disagree, right? It's just you can't find how many players are we going to find that are going to give us half of what Donovan Mitchell gives Utah on the perimeter. He gives them so much on the perimeter that it's going to be very interesting to see what you decide to do, because we can find me and MJ talked about this a couple of years ago. We can find big men. Big men are easy to find. Right. A lot more easy to find the dynamic wing player and guards, especially one in this situation where you don't need a guy to come in and be the defensive player of the year. You just need a guy. You can probably get players like who's somebody. You can call Cleveland and see if they want to get rid of one of their bigs to help.
I wish I had my Morpheus glasses right now so that I can unplug. What if I told you, Jerm, that it wasn't about what Donovan brings to the table, but it was about what that area probably wanted to see if they had the choice to see it? What if I told you that if I was to put out a plan in which we bring a guy that's nowhere near as good as Donovan Mitchell, but can still put up about 20, 21 a game, and he just happened to be white, and they let Rudy Gobert, who is French, so he don't know nothing about, nothing, let him be in the middle and protect all of these perimeter players who can't stay in front of anybody, and let them score meaningless points and be able to push the Mormon culture that they want to push. What if I told you that would probably be more important than keeping a generational talent like Donovan? Would you believe me?
Honestly, looking at the city, yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was about to say. What? I've been to Salt Lake City. I know what it is. Even if it was 30 years ago, it ain't changed. The pepper is still the same in Salt Lake City.
Because guess what, Ham? Guess what, Jerm? If I was to put Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson on that team right now, we could still be able to make the first round. We will still make the playoffs to get put out in the first round. We will still do the exact same thing that just happened.
The grumbling would not be there.
Hey, and you know what they will do? It wouldn't be though like somebody got to go with the beat out of that. They'll be like, you know what, fellas, good work, maybe next year.
Right.
Who did? Who went out of the first round? Not because of the team exiting the first round, but how they exited out of the first round. And this is the reason why teams win and teams lose. Because a lot of these teams don't want to just win. They want to win their way. Well, guess what? When you want to win your way, and New York is one of these teams as well, we're not going to just drop a race card and just say it's all about race, because New York is like that. And guess what? Your beloved Los Angeles Lakers is like that too. They want to win a certain way.
Can I add in?
Right. Y'all don't want to win. Y'all want to win a certain way. And that's why y'all will never have a dynasty again. Or never
Can I add in this? This is also why we won 56 here this year, and we've taken progressive steps each year that this crew has been together. Because the culture in the front office are meeting each other right at the point. It's like, all right, this is how we gonna rock. We gonna rock like this, and everything comes together. It's so much that comes into like the success that you have to get, that comes with the success. So much stuff that builds up into it, and it's the stuff that people don't think about that you really can only catch here with, us cats here at 94 Feet of Life on the Scene, which is why you should subscribe. Yeah, you can't see me. I ain't got no lights on, but you hear this pepper.
Yes, yes,
Now, speaking of dynasty, speaking of a breakup, that's probably not going to happen, but it should. This is not a hot take. I am all for the Lakers trading LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I am too. Just because we have something else to talk about.
Look at their draft pick situation and the cap situation.
Ooh.
What else can you do and make that team better? Or at least get that team going in a direction where you got something to build on. What else can you actually do? There's not a rhetorical question. Anybody jump in. What can you actually do?
Did you say trade?
Trade Anthony Davis or LeBron James. Pick the one that you want to.
Hey, they can have 4-hour practices. That's what they can do. Because guess what? The people that you got and the people that you will have to put on the team, the individuals that you will have to fill out the roster with, you're going to have to get some young, hungry dogs who probably are no names, but if you put them in a 4-hour practice, they can probably turn into something and do the blunting of the work while the old heads rest until the play.
You ain't even got the cap room to sign young, hungry dog.
And there we go.
So Germ or Trav, if I said to you, which one would you move? Which one would you move?
Oh, God. Here we go. The one that you have to try to move is probably going to be, first of all, we're just going to be honest. For the first time in his career, you trade LeBron.
Yep. No.
And the reason why you trade LeBron is really simple. It's not this ain't hard to figure out. We ain't got to put up no signs and all the rest of this other stuff. You trade LeBron because LeBron is the person who has the value to be traded. Because if you put them on the right team, they're going to still be right where they need to be. There's a team that he used to play for. I ain't even going to say it. That you could probably pick a couple of players off of that team.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, probably take a couple draft picks with it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of having the draft pick, you can only make 2 or 3 players untouchable. But 2 or 3 of the players.
Hold on, let me get Trav back.
I agree with you. Gotta be LeBron. It's LeBron at this point. It's just, dude. What else you got to do? At this point, what else you got to do? You finna get ready. You finna get ready to become the highest point total guy in basketball history before the All-Star break. You finna break Kareem record and what he down 1,400?
Yeah, that's
something like that.
1,400, 1,400. Oh, he's done. But at the end of the day, what more you got? What more you got left? Go somewhere stupid though. Don't even go to Cleveland. Just go somewhere stupid. Go to Indiana or somewhere. Just go.
Let me tell you something. Rob Pelinka could get all his respect back if he were to legitimately put LeBron on the trade block. I would love it if he did, because to me that would show that's real. That's being a real general manager.
Yep.
When you know what, I don't care about clutch sports. I don't care about him being mad. I don't care about none of that. This is the best basketball move for me in this franchise. I would even trade. The trade likely doesn't work out because you trade LeBron James, you're not getting $1 for $1 back. But if you do it, even if it don't work, Rob Pelinka, I would give you all the credit in the world.
You know what?
I would have a bad thing to say about you if you
Big Shot,
put him on the block.
If Clutch Sports find out that LeBron James on the trade block, they'll leave. They'll leave.
Yeah, they will.
They'll leave. He'll leave because LeBron will feel like, y'all don't want me no more. But I go somewhere else.
But see, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care.
I don't care.
What's the worst? If you're Rob Pelinka, what's the worst that happens to you? They fire you and you got the fat balloon payment coming on the back end. So what up?
Man, what? Do what's best for the roster. Do what's best for the team.
Look, this is why I love y'all, because y'all gonna say what's right no matter what. I'm about to say what's really gonna happen. What's really gonna happen is LeBron is gonna pass Kareem, and then he's gonna have a farewell tour the next season. And then maybe that next season he's gonna have another farewell tour in which they draft Bronny in the late round. That's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry.
No, that's probably what's gonna happen. But if you're Rob Pelinka, that's what's gonna happen. Then to me, fire me.
Hey man, this defense that they just played on James Harden.
Yeah,
what?
Miami. You know, you ever been into a picnic? You drop food on the ground and all them ants show up out of nowhere.
That's Miami.
Where's Miami? It's just a bunch of ants. But if I'm Rob, oh yeah, I'll put him on.
If you're Rob, you're going to get hired somewhere else, and that's cool.
Yeah, I get hired.
Yeah, fire me. I have no problem with what, you know what I'm saying. If Rob try to, do GMing the correct way and get fired for it, salute to him. I'm just telling you what the Lakers are not going to do. Y'all watch Winning Time. Everything is bigger than just winning the game. They got to win it with the best stars. They have to win it with the glitz and the glamour. They still have to win it like Jerry Buss wants to win it. It's a reason why the Dallas Cowboys right now ain't won a title since 1996, 95, whatever. Because they want to win it the way their owner won it back in 30 years ago. This is the thing that a lot of people are not understanding. When the core of your organization, the ownership in the front office, is hell-bent on doing something a way in which is outdated and expired, there's nothing you can do until they come to terms on their own. Wait a minute, maybe we should do something different. We've seen it with, if we're gonna cross over the views for 22 for a second, we've seen it with the Cowboys, we've seen it with the Chicago Bears, we've seen it with a lot of teams that are just stubborn in their good old boy ways. And in the NBA, these big cities, they still want to hold on to the fact that we're a big city. Why wouldn't you want to play for us? You want to know why we don't want to play for y'all? Because we was 2 years old when y'all fucking won. That's why we don't want to play for y'all. We play AAU. We didn't care if we played a team final. We didn't care if we played in California. We didn't care if we played on the East Coast, West Coast. We played when it made sense.
Right.
So if the Oklahoma City Thunder has the best team, guess where we gonna go? To the Oklahoma City Thunder. It ain't about that. That's dead. And LeBron is gonna be the last person to be able to do that. Now, does that mean they're not gonna get stars? Of course they'll get stars, but they're not gonna get those game-changing stars in their prime. That's dead.
Which is why a team like Memphis, and I ain't saying this just because Ham is here, Memphis could be dangerous for a really long time. Because they got foundational, and as I know my man Jerem likes to references this a lot with the NFL and the views, they got dangerous, cheap young, which means Memphis got great foundation and they got money to play with.
We got draft capital, Chief.
Draft capital.
And the thing about it is they are small market.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. No.
It don't matter though.
Yeah, because
if your environment is good, I want to come there.
We got Ja. I mean, we got Ja, national commercials out of Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what the game is changing to. It's no longer about I want to play for the organization. Now players like I want to play for that player.
Right.
And that change right there is the culmination of what David Stern been wanting to do since 1984.
Speaking of 1984, the 1984-85 season led us to the draft lottery.
Yes.
So we have a little fun. We kind of close our shows. The draft lottery is next week. always one of the more random, silly events in sports TV is the draft lottery. Ham, I'm gonna go back to you because you kind of started this last week in our little group chat. Your favorite draft lottery memories, just random stuff that's happened at the lottery that you just remember.
In fact, one of them is the fact that we basically saw Dan Gilbert's son grow up in the draft lottery. I think we saw that kid go from elementary to get his license. He probably drove to the lottery one year. Too loud. But of course, my recent one, we had the number 2 slot in 09, and good Lord, we took a shame to beat here. I mean, we all know how that worked out. We get that whole deal back 10 years later, and look what we ended up with.
Man.
12.
Talk about dodging.
I can't wait till the Facebook memories from that day, from that draft lottery day come up.
Oh,
because
man.
I remember exactly what I said when we got to Memphis, Grizz, whatever. If y'all don't go draft Ja Morant, that's all that needed to be said. You know who you got to go get. Go get him.
Trav.
So that was fast forward to the top memory.
Trav, some of your random favorite draft lottery memories.
What's my guy name from the 76ers? He had the glasses on.
Pat Croce.
Pat Croce. He's a hilarious dude, especially when he drafted Allen Iverson. Oh my God. He went crazy. He had it all lined up. That was one of the funniest moments to me, was just watching his reaction, like he really won the lottery. He really won. He really won it, didn't you? AI was the number 1 pick. Boy, that joke said, that joke stopped before that. Boy, it was so funny, man. Oh my God. Oh man. That's one of the ones that caught my attention about the lottery.
You know what's funny about the lottery? It just be random people represent each team. It'd be random. It'll be like backup point guard from 20 years ago.
Right, Airbud. You got Airbud representing the team. Well, what does this dog go do?
Good boy.
Like they got Young Thug representing.
Don't play. Next time the Grizz go back to the lottery, we send a John Conchar.
No, y'all need to send John's daddy. Send John's daddy.
I was gonna say, you gotta send T. Morant, man. Gotta see T. Morant there, man.
Oh,
you know
man,
what?
He gonna have an after party at the draft lottery.
I think as long as y'all got Ja, y'all ain't gonna be in the lottery. I hope you enjoyed 2019. That probably was your last time.
But here's the funny thing. Now you guys have reached the pool in which the rich is gonna get richer because everybody is going to be drafting on upside and potential, and y'all gonna get to have the juniors and the seniors that are grown men and ready to play, just like y'all got Desmond Bain.
So we got Brandon Clark too.
Shout out Pat Williams, Elgin Baylor, Ernie Grunfeld, all the folks that would be there every year.
Every year.
Every year. You gonna get Ernie Grunfeld chilling at the lottery.
We can't forget Gary St. Jean for the Sacramento Kings. He was always there too.
St. Jean for the always.
Which actually, me and Ron been live and shit up since we just got on this show. Which actually brings me to my favorite part of the show is when it was the Zion Williamson sweepstakes, and we got a chance to watch New York fans not get Zion. Hey, listen to me very carefully. Hey, when I saw Jesus from Jesus Barrel say, "What the fuck is a pelican?" I lost it, bro.
You know what was live about that year too? That was also the same year that they didn't get KD.
Yeah.
So they came back 2 years later and they shoved it up everybody's face and went to the playoffs. And that don't nobody want to be there no more.
You gotta love.
All playoffs ain't created equal though, bro. Like if you get a Tibbs playoffs or a Scott Scout playoffs, it's not created the same. You sold your soul for that playoffs. You sold draft capital.
You gotta love Knicks fans every year pinning their hopes on the lottery. And no matter what the odds could be 99% for the Knicks. They will not get the pick they want every time.
Because even when they got the one that they won and when they had it rigged for them, they did deliver. And now it ain't Patrick's fault.
Oh, and when they did have
John Stark's fault.
2000, they traded them. That's why they ain't good now because
they traded Pat. Pat pulled.
Y'all didn't hear me blame John Starks though. So
John Starks got blocked. Hakeem got it, man.
He got blocked. Then he went 2 for 18 the next game.
So let me give y'all my favorite moment from the draft. Right.
Go ahead.
My favorite moments from the draft is the evolution of the way that we dress. We have went from the franchise boys in suits all the way up to now we don't even wear socks in our slippers. Now we in here like we Arabian night, Arabian day with the slippers. We genies out here these days. It's deep. It's legit. It's too legit to quit, man. I just want y'all to know.
You guys call that ankle porn.
You can see people.
What?
Ankle porn.
Yeah, man. People got Achilles.
Hey, yep. Hey, you get to see the whole Achilles. Hey, you get to see this.
Tendon porn.
Like what? Like you know what I'm saying? Like some of these shoes and stuff that they be wearing, some of them be cool, but some of them I'd be like, hey, young man, tuck. Come on, man. What you doing, man?
Hey,
pull your shoes up. Pull your shoes up.
My favorite part of the is when the teams that's always getting like the 12th and the 13th pick every year.
Yo,
they just there. Like
shout out to the Indiana Pacers.
Every year.
Every Indiana Pacers was drafted between 11 and 14, right in the book.
And look, and last year they got our boy Chris Duarte, and he's a hooper.
Hey, Duarte,
but there's only so much he can do.
Well,
this is the definition of the Indiana Pacers. They draft a dude that's good. That dude is good for 4 years. They trade said dude and draft another dude to replace him in the 13th, 14th pick. Lather, rinse, repeat. So now that they got rid of Sabonis, guess who they're going to draft in the 13th, 14th pick? Some overseas dude that's 16 that can pass.
Gavilas Scudavudi from Lithuania.
He's going to have a bitch at the last name. His last name going to have a bitch in it. Or they're going to take Blake Wesley, which I think they should take because he's from South Bend, Indiana, and he's an Indiana kid. Now, if they take Blake Wesley, that's a good look because Blake Wesley is explosive. But if they don't take Blake Wesley, they're taking some left-handed foreign guy who could pass the ball. That's 16.
And Lance will make you dance ain't walking through that door. Paul George, the original PG-13, is not walking through that door. Hey, Tremaine O'Neal is not walking through that door.
Hey, and all those names.
Reggie Miller is not walking through that door.
All those names you dropped with the exception of Reggie, Larry Bird was heading the ship there. Larry Bird, like, man, the hell with y'all, man. I don't want to know.
So Miami is now up 17 with about 5.5 minutes to go.
Ronnie, let me say something real quick about these folks.
About who?
About Miami. I just got to say this.
Go ahead.
This is probably the most annoying team I've ever watched on television.
They do a lot of stuff.
Hey, MJ, they got about 5 dudes that you look at and say, is this a creative player?
Look, here's the funniest thing about Miami. Here's the funniest thing about him. I call Miami red beans and rice.
Raw.
Appropriate with the color.
Boy. Roll boy.
Right? Because you know I'm a cook. So if you eat red beans by yourself, it's pretty nasty. You eat rice by itself, it's pretty plain. You eat it all together though, it's fine.
Pretty good.
That is the Miami Heat. If you take the red beans out, you just got rice. You take the rice out, you just got red beans. So they can't afford to lose no red beans. They can't afford to lose no rice. They got to have that unit together to make red beans and rice. That is it.
Hey,
One
man.
person can't be moved. No, nobody can be moved. They are some of their parts.
I tell you what, I know this. I know Trav gonna probably. I'm glad Trav put himself on mute for what I'm about to say. Jimmy Butler doing these folks in, man.
Yeah.
He got the matchup. Jimmy is a player that look.
You know when Jimmy, and to your point, MJ, the one thing I will say about Jimmy Butler, and I'm not a big fan of him, but I will say this: when Jimmy gets the matchup that he wants, unlike a lot of guys, Jimmy don't play around when he get a mismatch.
Mm-mm.
He's 6'7", he 220. He uses his frame well. If you get a smaller guard, he taking him onto that mid post. He drives the ball. And what I also like about Jimmy is not gonna settle for the shot that he don't want.
No.
That's just making shit hard. That's all.
Hey, listen.
He makes it difficult, but you know what? He gets to the shot.
He get to the shot that he wants.
He gets the shot he wants. If he want that 12-footer, he getting it. If he want to get to the basket, he getting there.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, Luka, Pascal, Van Fleet, Jimmy, and Jalen Brunson are the hardest working offensive players I've ever seen.
And Jimmy be shooting about 50% too. So he worked hard, but he
got the matchup now. I don't want you to fall for that fool's gold because if Chris Middleton comes back and they got to see him, those numbers ain't gonna look the same. You better hope Bam step up or Kyle Lowry leg right. Like it's just not gonna look the same. And that's
yeah. See, you know what? Okay, MJ, I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I just don't think that there is any player on the perimeter, and this includes Tobias, that scares Jimmy at all. Because he can't get on the block with Bron. He can't get on the block with Kawhi. He can't get on the block with none of them premier guys. KD gonna just spray bird. That's word to my guy Trav. It's tight for him. But when it comes to James Harden is the perfect person for him to have to guard, especially this version of James Harden.
And speaking of James Harden, we're gonna close with this, Ham. I want to get to you. What happens in Philadelphia now?
Good night, America.
He got like a $50 million option on the table, huh? $50 a year.
Yeah.
Or extension, rather.
He can opt in at 50, and he's eligible for the big extension. But after everything that happened this season, you can't possibly bring them back as is.
Doc gonna be the first casualty.
You going to the Lakers? Doc going to the Lakers. And it ain't gonna change a thing over in LA. Nah.
Good hustle, Maxey.
Ain't gonna change
I don't know, but Tyrese Maxey deserves better. That's what I'm gonna say on that.
Maxey, he's doing the thing, but
I think Doc gone, man.
Yeah, I don't. You can't possibly bring them back as is.
Why don't they just let Doc coach college? Let him coach at a level where they still care. Doc wants to coach dogs. His best years when he was a coach. Look at those rosters. They were hungry dogs. That's what Doc needs to coach.
Now y'all getting whooped on the boards. Jeez.
So if I don't see any other team in the NBA that Doc can coach and be able to bring the best out of, maybe Memphis, but they don't need to change coaches because Taylor Jenkins doing a hell of a job. So put that man in college at a blue blood where he gonna get some dogs and bring the best out of him.
Doc, he ain't even got to do no heavy. He ain't even got to do no heavy recruit. You Doc Rivers.
Exactly. And if you had a blue blood already, the program gonna take care of that for you anyway. The assistant coach is gonna do all that work for you. All you get to do is teach basketball. Like how Hubert Davis is doing right now, Doc needs to be there.
Yeah.
Doc needs to be in that situation.
Yeah.
They need Kyle Lowry on this floor now. Because whoever is handling this rock now, this is loose as a goose. Don't get me started. Shout out to Boosie. We trying to get to the promised land, and you out here handling my rock like it's a noodle. I don't like it. Fix it.
They're gonna have when they get to the next round against Boston or Milwaukee. The one thing I think what Miami will have is when you got Smart and Holiday. Smart or Holiday, whichever one. Both of them dudes can deal with Jimmy one-on-one. Jimmy will score, but they get
be about 5 for 17.
They can drag Jimmy into a 5 for 17 night very easily. So, I think Miami, they having a little trouble right now. I think they're gonna get away with it, but it'll be very interesting. Well, look, this is SCENcast. We're going to do this again. We should do this again very soon. Yeah. Our man, you're on the grind. MJ on the coaching grind. So we're going to put this back together, fellas. Before we close out, any final thoughts? Y'all want to give any predictions as who because we know Miami going to take care of business. Who is Miami? Rapid fire. Is it Boston or Milwaukee? Advance to the next round.
I think Milwaukee finished it.
Trav got Milwaukee. MJ, who you got? You got Milwaukee finishing it?
I'm not going against Giannis.
Damn.
Third year in a row, we'll give Milwaukee Miami.
I'm just gonna say it like this, man. I said at the beginning of the year, I wanted the two healthiest, deepest teams to get to the finals. And it looks like we're gonna get one. And I ain't gonna tell y'all who that one is. But I'm gonna go, just to be different, I'm gonna go with Boston.
I want Boston.
I want Boston win it, but
I want Boston. Big shot. I want Boston, but it's Def, Taxes, BBLs, and Giannis.
Yeah, man said BBLs. I'm gone.
BBLs.
I'm gonna ignore that. He said I'm gonna ignore that. I'm not even gonna put it up. But yeah, Giannis, the modern day Tim Duncan, 25 and 15, right in the book. Right.
Just really left. That's what's funny.
Yeah, he did leave. So remember, 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group. Scene is the family. If you're watching this, you should be subscribed to the YouTube. Your notifications should be on. Trav, Ham, Promised Land Germ, MJ, Basketball for the People. Clarence Weatherspoon looks like he's not about to walk through that door.